It is seriously way too hot here. It's like 87 degrees and it's been sunny like this the entire time I've been here. It's currently like raining consistently over in Washington where I'm from and everything, but yeah, it's whatever. I know you guys can't see, it's like really blowing out, it's really bright, but I really wanted to record a video right now. So anyway, what's up guys? So today we wanted to talk about frames per second and edit pacing and how you can use those two things to make your videos better today. So recently I started posting a lot of my 1-minute cinematic Instagram videos on Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, and I've gotten a lot of the same questions over and over and over again, which is like, what camera am I using? What lens did you shoot that with? What editing software do you use? How do you color correct? What LUT are you using? But the really weird thing is I'm never asked, what frames per second should I be shooting at depending on what I want to shoot? And also, how do I improve the pacing of my videos in order for the video to overall be better? And I think this is never really asked because it's a really hard question to answer in just a simple sentence, It's easy to answer, I shot on a Canon lens or I shot on this camera, but it's not easy to tell somebody how to improve the pacing of their videos or what frames per second they should be shooting at depending on what they shoot. So I'm gonna break that down for you, and hopefully these two tips will help improve your videos so much. So first of all, let's talk about frames per second, because choosing your frame rate is so important when you're shooting a video, whether it be a vlog, whether it be a cinematic video. You need to be able to choose your frame rate according to the subject that you're shooting. So for instance, right now, I'm doing a vlog style type video, so I'm shooting at 24 frames per second. This is great for any subject whose dialogue is gonna be played back at normal speed in real time. If I was gonna shoot anything like the B-roll you saw in the beginning of the video and also what you see throughout this video, that's all shot at 120 frames per second. And then depending on the feel that I want in those shots, I'll either slow it down to stretch it out over my timeline, or I'll keep the initial frame rate the same. That way it gives a more intense and surreal feel. Do you need to shoot at 120 to have good B-roll? No, not necessarily. Most cameras nowadays can shoot at 60 frames per second, which usually is good enough. That's the same slow motion that you see in TV shows and movies, so it's good enough for what you're doing right now. I just like 120 because it slows it down. It gives me more options of slow motion, and depending on what I want to do, I can either slow it down to 60 or 120 and stretch it out over a 24p timeline. So the next one, which is probably the hardest one, which is how do I improve the pacing of my videos? So I have a few tips for you to use, and hopefully these will help kind of open your mind and maybe help you see things that you didn't see before when cutting your video. So here's a little exercise. Find a music video that you love, watch it once with music and once without. Make it on your own, but we don't have to grow up, we can stay forever young. Chances are what you didn't notice is that all the transitions are actually not on the beat. They're actually in syncopation to the beat, and that's on purpose because if you were to cut on the beat every single time at the exact same time, it would be incredibly boring and you're actually be able to put your audience to sleep. Okay, so the next tip I have is to shoot a bunch of B-roll, whatever you want to shoot. You could shoot your cat, shoot people playing outside, whatever you want to do. And then what I want you to do is pick a timeline and then also pick a well-paced piece of music. Contrary to popular belief, pop music is not a good piece of music to cut on. So I usually cut my music to a lot of varying types of music. So whatever you choose, just cut your video and then see if those visuals when you're cutting the video can keep your attention, honestly. Don't just think, well, I'm the best videographer ever, it doesn't matter what I do, it's always gonna be good. That's really not good thinking. You really should be thinking to yourself, okay, if I'm watching this for the first time, is this going to catch my attention or is it really boring? Okay, this very last tip is probably the hardest one even for me, and it's something that I struggle with every time, which is to take a break from your video. Taking a break will actually open your mind up to more things. So when you cut your video, you can either export it or leave it in its timeline. Take 24 hours, go do something completely different. Go shoot photos, go hang out with friends, whatever the case may be. And then come back to that video 24 hours later and then see if it's still just as interesting as it was before. Chances are it probably won't be and you'll want to change some things. Another thing you can do is also to export the video and then watch it over and over and over again and eventually you'll start to see things that you really don't like, and then you can go and fix those before you send it to the client. All right guys, well that's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm sorry about the location change. I'm no longer in Arizona and I didn't get to record the rest of it when I was there because I was so busy. But if you like the style of video, let me know. I'd be happy to make more of these, and until next time, I'll see you later.
How come you think that I still